Hi everyone, I'm Eshaan M, a Kids First film critic from Houston, Texas. And today I'm speaking with the talented Luigi Latini, creator and producer of the new show MeteoHeroes, which has its US premiere at the University of Hawaii, Kids First Film Festival. The show is currently on air in Italy, plus over 140 countries, dubbed in 20 languages. Additionally, Mr. Latini is CEO and partner of the most respected private weather center in Italy, MOPI, Meteo Operations Italia. He lives in Rome, Italy, where he's speaking to us today. Thank you, Mr. Latini, for visiting with me today. Let's jump right into it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
I love how Meteor Heroes educates kids about climate change and kind of motivates them to act and, take a step forward. Why do you think it's necessary to have such a show for young people?
First of all, I am a father, and my kids is nearly 5 years old. And at the same time, I'm a businessman. I work with the weather center. So, uh, as a father and as a man who works with the weather, I was very worried because since 2000, we can see many data, many informations about the climate change. So I said, for the future of my son and for the future of the kids all around the world, it's very important to create a show who can give them fun, who can give them adventure, but at the same time, education. I think education is the priority, but at the same time, if a kid can have fun, that is the best way to educate. And so I said, we must create a show to give them education and let them know what is going on. So in the future, they can face it.
And how have you personally been impacted by climate change, or your surroundings? How have they been impacted by climate change?
There was a day around 3 years ago when me and my family we were impacted directly about with from the climate change because there was a tornado in our uh, place where we live, and that was very scary because we heard the noise. It sounded like a train coming, but there are no train around our building. So we said, what is going on? And then we opened the window and we saw this tornado approaching to our property. And so we locked the windows and we sat on the floor near a wall, and we heard a lot of noise. And then when it was gone, we opened the window again, and the fence net was down on the floor, and many trees were on the floor, and the gate was on the floor. And it was very, very scary because we felt the power of this tornado. And yeah, it was very, very scary. And it never happened in that area, in our area, since more than, I don't know, 100 years before. And so that was a real effect from the climate change. So yes, we were already producing the show MeteoHeroes, but then we said, okay, we must push it, we must speed it, and this is the moment for the show.
And in a place like Italy, in a Mediterranean country too, where there's a lot of the temperature changes and things like that as well, it's a very important show to have. And touching on locations, so I know that Mount Gran Sasso is a very well-known massif in Italy in the Apennine range, but kids outside of Italy may be hearing about this mountain, and they might even be hearing about certain aspects of the country for the first time. So why did you choose to use Mount Gran Sasso and on a larger scale Italy as the home base for Meteor Heroes?
Well, our show, our cartoon is very particular, let's say, or I can say special, because there is a lot of reality inside the show. Yes, it's a cartoon show, but at the same time, many facts, many aspects are real. And one of these is exactly the Gran Sasso Mountain. It's a real mountain that exists in Italy. It's between two national parks, so it's perfect for nature and environment. And inside the Gran Sasso, there is a very famous lab with more than 200 scientists. They live and they study inside the Gran Sasso. There is this very big lab, and it's 2 kilometers down under the Gran Sasso mountain. So it's a special place where the science and the nature meet together in this special place. Because, as I said, 2 national parks and more than 200 scientists who study inside the mountain. So I think there is no place like the Gran Sasso Mountains around the world, and we want the MeteoHeroes to be there because it's a real place with real scientists, and that was perfect for our show.
And I like that you talked about how specific and how kind of unique this show is, because also each of the MeteoHeroes has a kind of, it's derived from Latin, each of their names. So I know Nubes is from nubes or clouds, Pluvia is from rain, Fulmen from lightning. I studied in 8th grade, so I remember all of this from Latin. So given the show is created in Italy, it really adds a special touch to the show. So what went behind the decision to give these characters names of Latin derivation?
Well, more or less is the same answer I gave you. I gave you before, because I wanted names that sounds like fantasy names, but they are real. So I said, okay, maybe from the old Italian, as Latin is, because the roots of our language is from 2000 years ago. I said, okay, let's have names that sounds like fantasy name, but they are real names, and they mean exactly the power of our heroes, because Pluvia means rain, and Nubes means clouds, and Nix means snow, and so on. Every name is exactly the weather phenomenon the MeteoHeroes represent. So also here, there is reality inside the show. That was the reason.
And additionally, the characters in the show come from all 7 continents, and they're quite culturally diverse. So how does that diversity kind of impact their interactions on the show?
Well, every country has its habits, every culture, and we are different for many reasons all around the world. But listen to me carefully. Nature and climate are exactly the same all around the world, in every continent, and in every country. So we wanted to explain, even if we look different, even if our cultures are different, in front of the nature and in front of the climate, we are exactly the same. So together we can win. Together we can face this problem, because it's late, but it's not too late. So I wanted to show that even if we come from different places, as for example, continents and countries are, but nature and climate are common, from Japan, from Honolulu, from Italy, from Australia, from India, and from Russia. We are all the same, and together we can face and we can win. It's late, but it's not too late, and together we can do it, because nature and climate is the same, exactly the same everywhere in the world, in every corner of the world.
I love that message. And so, looking at a very specific episode, one of the episodes that we're featuring in this festival, in fact, it takes place in the Pacific Ocean, and it's all about noise pollution and how it affects marine life like dolphins. So, what drew you to taking on that subject matter?
Because we explain in the MeteoHeroes show that we worry about human, and of course it's natural, but animals and plants are affected as human. So we have many episodes about animals, because we need to think that they cannot do anything to protect themselves. We must help animals, we must help flowers and trees and plants. So I decided to create these episodes about the dolphins, to explain that also animals are very affected by the climate change.
What are any difficulties you faced in the creation of Meteo Heroes, and how did you kind of surpass them? How did you overcome them?
Well, I need your help. I need help of every kid around the world because what I'm facing is hypocrisy. You know, many companies and many adults, many grown-up people, they have a lot of hypocrisy in front of the climate change. So that's why I need help from the kids because many times they say, oh yeah, climate change is a big issue. Okay, that's it. They don't do, we will do something. Sometimes they just say, oh yes, it's a very big issue. And then they change the topic. So this is the problem that I'm facing now. I need your help to let the parents, grandparents, and teachers, and everybody around, every kids, understand that climate change is real, and we all need the help to change it. So this is the real problem I'm facing now.
And talking about how important the sort of kids are in this, right? The audience really plays a very, important role. So I might guess that some of your personal childhood experiences have also played a role a little bit in the creation of Meteo Heroes. Do we see a part of Mr. Luigi Latini in any of these characters?
Well, not in the characters, but I have to tell you that when I was a kid, since 5 years old, from when I was born until my 5 years old, I grew up in a farm with my grandparents. And so I lived the first 5 years of my life with rabbits and horses and dogs and cats and sheep and cows and so I really love nature because in my DNA, yes, there is the farm life here in Italy. So, as I told you, as a businessman, when I saw the data and all the information about the climate change and how it was affecting the nature and the animals, I said, this is wrong. We need to educate the kids because we cannot leave the nature alone and the animals alone. So yeah, the young me pushed me to do this show to help the kids and educate the kids to face this problem because I repeat it again, we can do it together. And we don't have to worry, we don't have to be scary. It's a big issue, it's very dangerous, but together, just like the MeteoHeroes do, we can face it and we can win. But as I said, if we educate also the parents and the grandparents, it's our mission, me and I hope you together to educate also the grown-up men to action, to take action now.
And what has been the most gratifying moment? The moment where you're like, yes, I've done something, in the creation of this show, when you feel like it's all kind of come to a success.
Well, when a kid say to me, oh, I watch every day the MeteoHeroes and I really love them, and now I throw the plastic in the plastic bin and I don't throw the food anymore, or I throw the paper in the paper bin. And when they love the show and they learn something, that makes me happy, because this is a fun show with the message, with the education. So I want the kid to have fun, but at the same time to learn something. So when an Italian kid, write me or tell me something like that, it makes me very proud. And recently, last week, a kid from Turkey wrote me because he really likes snow mix because he lives on the mountain where there is a snow during winter, and he said, I follow every mission of Nix in the MeteoHeroes show and I want to be like her and fight the climate change. Wow, he is a 5 years old kid from Turkey, and yeah, it's exciting and nearly bring me tears in my eyes. Yes, this is something that makes me very, very, very proud.
I'm sure. I think it really does. It unites people across the world, and that's very special. And what do you hope that Hawaiian audiences will take away from watching this show?
one word, hope. Hope that we can do it together. Hope that we can win. Hope that, yes, we are all the same around the world. And if now we have the goal and the mission to fight climate change and to help the nature, we will win. So the hope that we can do it. Don't feel the pressure that something wrong is going on. Yes, it's going on, but we still have time to change it and we still have time to win. So hope is what hope. Sorry for I use it 2 times, but yeah, I hope that the hope that you will bring with you after the MeteoHeroes show.
And what's next for MeteoHeroes? What are the next steps forward for the show? Any issues you want to cover? Any things you want to talk about? Any places you want to go?
I'm not answering you as a businessman. I'm answering you as a father, because next of MeteoHeroes is you. I mean, you, the kids, all of you. Because the MeteoHeroes is a show, but it's like education. When you finish the school, when you will be after, I don't know, the high school or the college or the university, you will go into the life. And with the MeteoHeroes show, I hope it will happen the same. So you are the future of MeteoHeroes. If you learn how to fight for the climate change, fight against the climate change, fight to protect the nature and the animals, so the future of MeteoHeroes is you. I hope that now the MeteoHeroes are 6 characters, but in 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, there will be thousands and thousands or millions of kids all around the world. That is the best I hope for the future of MeteoHeroes. And as I told you, not as a businessman, but as a father.
We all have a MeteoHero inside us, I think, all the kids, and I think that the show has done a great job of trying to awaken that within us. So it's really wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Latini, for speaking with me today. It's really been such a pleasure to hear your perspectives, hear more about what went behind creating MeteoHeroes, and I certainly learned so much from listening to you.
Oh, thank you very much. As they say in Honolulu, mahalo. I don't know if it's correct, my pronunciation. That is thank you. So thank you very much. It was exciting and it was a big, big pleasure for me.
And thank you to Kids First and the University of Hawaii at Manoa Outreach College for organizing today's interview and the entire festival. And thank you for watching. I'm Eshaan M from Kids First, signing off. Bye!